4 years, and that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on it.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Tadia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Tadia.
All right, welcome back to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our True Form Life community. Now, today I'm bringing on a special guest. This is Cori Black, and she's going to be talking about essential oils in the home for moms. Now, I know this could be a controversial subject. It does seem to be growing. I think more and more people are starting to realize and understand the benefits of essential oils. So I wanted to bring on a guest that knows lots about them. Cori doesn't call herself an expert, but I would, because she knows a lot about oils. She uses them. She teaches people about them. She's in the industry constantly. So I think it's perfect to bring on someone like Cori to talk about essential oils. More particularly, she's going to talk about being a mother, using them in the home on her children, on herself, and with her husband as well, who wasn't exactly a believer at the beginning. So I think there's a lot of people that are kind of on the fence. More and more people are getting into oils, but there's so many different benefits of essential oils, and how it can help you improve your health naturally, not only in treatment, but more so in prevention. So super excited to share this show with you. Sit back and enjoy it. We got all that coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Tadia.
All right, welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. You heard all about Cori Black in the introduction. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Cori.
Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. Are you excited to be here?
I'm so excited.
We are excited to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about oils. There's so many different directions we can go with essential oils, so many health benefits, naturally, holistically, all about what Exploring Mind and Body is about. Cori, tell us about yourself before we get into any real details. Give our audience a chance to resonate with you a little bit.
I would describe myself as a mom. That's my first role, a mom and a wife. I'm a farm wife. I was a farm girl growing up. I've been married to my husband for, actually it's going to be 8 years this next week. And we have 3 little kids. So that's my primary role, is to be mom and to be a caregiver and just a helper all around. So I'm also, when I'm not mom, I'm a teacher. So right now I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from that, and I sub occasionally to keep my hand in that. But otherwise, I'm at home caring for the people I love the most.
So when you got into oils, tell me like the very beginning. Why was it something you thought could benefit you?
Right. So when my oldest daughter, while I was on mat leave with my first daughter, who's now 6, I was doing a lot of reading and researching about the best ways that I could care for her and care for our home and just make sure that she was as healthy as I could keep her. And as I was doing that reading and research, I was finding a lot of scary information about what we're exposed to, and these really common toxins that are in just about everything. They're everywhere, right? And I had no idea. That's not the way I was brought up or raised. It wasn't something I had ever thought about. And so I was looking for new options, and I just so happened to have some family members getting involved with essential oils. I had no idea what they were. They weren't something that I had ever heard of or used before, but I was definitely curious. And so I just started asking questions about them and what they could do to help support my family and our health. So I started slowly. I was a little bit tentative just because I didn't know what to do. I had gone back to work when she was 6 months old, and she decided that she would refuse fluids. every day while I was gone. She wouldn't take anything from anybody. And she ended up in some pretty bad shape, right? Obviously, refusing fluids. She was very constipated. She was very impacted. I had a doctor prescribe something that's fairly normal, fairly regular for that condition. He asked me to use some stool softeners with her, and it just wasn't working. So when I asked for more ideas, more options, and his advice on what I should do, and he replied back to me, just give her more. And I said, she's 6 months old. How much should I give her? And he said, just keep giving it to her, right? She'll go. And my mom instinct, it just felt wrong. It wasn't okay. And I decided to take the power back.
And did you find a solution through oils for that particular issue?
We did. What we first started using was an oil called Digest, and it's a digestive support. The point of that oil is to help the digestive system calm and function. It's a digestive support. And so we started using that, 2 or 3 times a day with her with some tummy massage. We started using things like probiotics from the same line I was getting my oils. And, it seems so simple. It seems so easy, but it made such a difference. And that's when I really realized, we have options if we choose them.
True Form Life.
Before we get into the show, I just want to mention Complete Truth Protein. This is a plant-based protein supplement that we've designed ourselves at Trueform. And the reason I designed it is because I felt like there was a need in the industry. Now, when I was traveling around the world, and I literally had a tackle box full of supplements and products and vitamins that did a whole lot more damage than good. So when I started doing more personal training and fitness classes, people would ask me what types of supplements I would recommend. And I always say, eat food. So that's why I've designed Complete Truth Protein around food. It's made with quinoa and hemp seeds. And one of the main benefits that it offers is improved digestion. So many of us deal with digestion issues on a regular basis. It also gives you a natural boost of energy. So if you head over to trueformlife.com/complete truth protein, we have tons of more details, videos, recipes, and everything you need to get going in the right direction with a good quality protein supplement. trueformlife.com/complete truth protein.
True Form Life.
Maybe you could explain them. I'm not sure how in-depth you could get, but let's say, for example, we know that many times we put chemicals on our body. We put chemicals in our body, especially if it's coming from pharmaceuticals, pills, potions, powders. We talk about those all the time that are detrimental to our health. How do we know that oils are clean and healthy for our health?
Well, the way I looked at it, they're just plants, right? And how simple is that? And when I considered the fact that they're perhaps been put on this earth for a reason, much like the way we're starting to think about food, right? Let's think about what is here and what we're meant to eat. And I treated oils the same. They're just plants. It was just flowers. It was just leaves. It was just trees, right? And I considered also to myself, what were people using before synthetic medications and things like that? There had to be something before that. And I really value Western medicine, but I do think there needs to be a balance. And I really wish that both sides could embrace, because I think we'd be unstoppable if we could embrace those. I chose a company. I chose Young Living for a reason. I knew without a doubt, just looking into them and their Seed to Seal program, that they were what they said they were. They were not perfume grade. They were not synthetic grade. They are therapeutic grade. And there's a difference in that, right? I made sure to do my research about where I was getting them, where they were sourced, and that I could trust how they were tested. Because if I was going to use them on my babies or myself while I was pregnant, I had to know.
We see, I'm not sure, you see all these things on social media here and there, for example, I like to use this comparison because I like Young Living, for example. I like the company and what they're about and how they give back. I like that whole, everything they're about, really. And, when I was looking at some pictures of oils and how cheap they were. So let's say an oil would be about $20, for example, like an average oil. I don't know how fair that is, but let's say they're $20. And then I saw some pictures and there was an oil that was like 75 cents. And I was like, my gosh. But then I take that and we look at protein supplements, because we develop our own Complete Truth protein, and our protein supplement costs a bit more than the conventional because it's a good quality source, good quality ingredients. Right. And if you look at that quality, it takes more money to produce it. So it's going to cost a bit more to the consumer. So I was thinking the same thing with oils. Like if you have the cheapest oil on the rack is like, there's got to be something in there that's not right.
100%. And it can be so scary because with the essential oil market being something that is exciting right now, everybody wants to get in on it, and I mean, people producing it want to get in on it. And what's the cheapest, fastest way to do that? And so your oils can be they can be full blown synthetic. There's not a part of a plant in them, right? They could just be heavily diluted where you're getting honestly, Drew, they can put 5% of an oil in a bottle and it can be labeled pure and natural. And that's so frustrating for me being a lover of essential oils and trusting them like I do, because of course people are going to could do damage to themselves by using oils that are either completely synthetic or just have zero result at all if they're diluted.
Yeah. And then if I go back to the protein industry, it's so apparent, it's so clear for us that are involved in the industry. If we have someone that uses a cheap supplement and they're like, oh, that's horrible. People compare all supplements to all supplements. So they say, oh, I don't take protein powders. That gives me indigestion. That's probably because you got the cheapest one on the pharmacy or on the discount rack.
Absolutely. And it's so hard because you want to say to people can I give you a sample of mine? I really want you to try something that is therapeutic. And you know what is even more exciting is that Health Canada, take Health Canada for what you will. They at least have done some research to start recognizing essential oils as actual natural health products. And at this point, Young Living is the only company in the world that can make that claim. That has had that testing done, that we can say that. And so that is so amazing to be able to have some of our oils be recognized that way. And so, if you want to get them at the grocery store, they might make your house smell, I'm going to say different. I'm not even going to say good, because if they're synthetic, they could also be doing damage at the same time, right? Depending what you're breathing in.
So when we look at, all right, let's go back to moms in general, moms and kids and essential oils. If we have some of our listeners that may be first timers, or maybe that they've kind of dabbled, maybe there's some experts in here as well. But if we're trying to get in our family involved, if we want to help our children live healthier, where can we start with essential oils?
Well, I would never call myself an expert because there is so much to learn, but I feel like over, time and trusting good reference guides and things, I have learned a lot about being able to use them on my family. And the biggest tip I would give to somebody who's new and wanting to use them on their kids and their family is to know, like we said, first of all, know that what you're getting, what you're buying. Secondly, start low. Go slow. 1 or 2 drops of any essential oil isn't going to do harm, right? It's when people are negligent and they use 20 drops, thinking, oh, it's just, they're comparing it to something else they might have used in the past. So 1 to 2 drops. And there are dilution rates, right? For tiny people and adults. And it's also very important if you're new to be diluting. So diluting with a carrier oil means that you are using something like coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, whatever you have on hand. If it's just straight up vegetable oil or olive oil and that's what you have on hand, use that. But the point of why you would want to use those in combination with your oils, if you're new or on little people, is that they slow the absorption into the body.
True Form Life.
Just want to take a minute to mention Complete Truth Protein again. This is a protein supplement that we designed at True Form. We believe in food. We believe food heals, cures, and prevents. That's why this product is much different than your conventional types of products. Unfortunately, packed with chemicals, preservatives, toxins that our body doesn't know how to utilize, digest, and absorb. So that's why Complete Truth Protein can help improve your digestion and will offer a natural boost of energy. You can find more details at trueformlife.com/Complete Truth Protein.
True Form Life.
Okay, so we talked about earlier in the show when we first got started, you talked about Digize and how that would help with digestion. Is there a couple that you could point out that you could talk about the health benefits or maybe some results that you've seen from them?
For sure. So I would say our favorites in our house, this is so funny. I was going through, I never throw my bottles out when they're empty. I just put them in a big Ziploc bag. And then I use them to soak them in Epsom salts and make bath salts and stuff. But anyways, it was very interesting because I was looking at which do we use the most? How many empty bottles of which oils do we have? And in our family, our favorites that we use the most because we obviously find benefit from them, first and foremost would be Thieves. Thieves oil is a blend of rosemary, eucalyptus, cinnamon, clove, and lemon. And it is amazing for immune support. It is our immune warrior. We use Thieves on our feet most days. At night before bed, if someone is sick in the house, everyone's using it 2 or 3 times, just preventative, right? I know some people look at oils and they want them to just fix the problem once it happens, but that's not what oils are necessarily for. They are helpful when there's a problem, but you need to be supporting your body before things are broken. So we love our Thieves for immune support and for cleaning. Like Thieves kills all the bad bacteria, but totally leaves the good bacteria alone. And I think you probably know, Drew, how important healthy bacteria is for a healthy immune system and a healthy gut. And so we love Thieves. Probably our next favorite would be lavender. Lavender, if you think you don't like lavender, you need to get some real therapeutic grade lavender. It's amazing. And when I started using oils, I wasn't a fan of it. But I've heard plenty of times in my journey that if you don't like an oil, chances are your body needs it and you are imbalanced. So we use lavender all the time now, and it's one of my favorites. And I think that's so very cool that when I started oils, I didn't like it. And now we use it. It's everyone's sleep support. It goes in the diffuser every night in every bedroom of our home. All this, anything skin related, anything skin related with the kids, from bumps, scrapes, bruises, anything like that. We love our lavender. My husband, it's funny because he just didn't get it, right? He was kind of skeptical. But when mom's away and anything happens, lavender.
He runs to the lavender. Oh my gosh, rub some lavender on it.
Right? Like when in doubt, get the lavender, right? Because even if it doesn't fix the problem, it's going to calm whoever's having a problem. So we love lavender, and it's always missing. He has it with him, throughout the seasons. He's a junkie now. He's got his oils hidden in places that I can't find. So it's very cool.
So when we move to kids, I suppose more specifically kids, I heard that you might have an evening routine around oils in kids. Is that right? Or maybe it's not a routine, or? We try to. If it's a bath night, we like to just, mix some oils in our Epsom salts, in the tub. So things like lavender or gentle baby or some calming oils like that will go in the bathtub. And then when we're getting our jammies on, that's when we like to put Thieves on our feet, so that our immune system is supported while we rest, while our body repairs while we rest. We'll do Thieves. If the kids are battling something more, maybe they do have a cold or something, lemon on their spine to help kind of detox. We like to do that. And then in our diffusers, it's lavender. Like the kids get lavender and orange, and Curb and I really like lavender and cedarwood. So those go in the diffusers. And I like to put oils on my wrists when I sleep because I sleep with my hands by my face. So I'll choose something like, Tranquil or Rutavala or something like that and use it on my wrist. So would you have an oil recommendation for, this is a health and wellness show, there would be people that would exercise or work out. Would you have an oil recommendation for sore muscles or recovery, anything like that?
So a really simple and affordable one that's great for post-workout and just muscles in general is peppermint. Peppermint is amazing in the bath. Use it with your salts so that it emulsifies and spreads throughout the water. It doesn't just sit on top. Peppermint's really nice. You can rub that with a carrier oil, on your legs or on your back or wherever you have that tension. It's an amazing muscle support. So peppermint. And then another would be Panaway. Panaway also has peppermint, has wintergreen, helichrysum. Helichrysum is, you need to do research on helichrysum. If you don't know anything about it, let's just say healing, like amazing healing properties. And so Panaway is a little pricier, but it is a power punch of, when I say Panaway, I think pain away, right? So it's really awesome for, people who put their body through some stress.
True Form Life.
I just want to mention Complete Truth Protein here once again before I let you go. This is a protein supplement we designed ourselves, made with quinoa and hemp seeds, also maca and stevia. We have 2 different types of products. They both have tons of health benefits. You can bake the original bag, you can bake with. It's perfect for gluten-free flour. If you're celiac or gluten intolerant, we have tons of recipes on trueformlife.com, which include raw protein balls. People absolutely love these ones. We have pancakes, cookies, muffins, all healthy, all clean ingredients. Dorothy puts these together for us on a weekly basis. So if you head over to trueformlife.com, head over to the recipe section. We have all kinds of recipes on how you can use Complete Truth Protein. It's also a vegan and raw product. So if you have any intolerances or if you have any issues with digestion, this will definitely help you out. Once again, that's trueformlife.com/complete truth protein.
True Form Life.
So if we want to get started, so if someone had sore muscles, for example, would they use a carrier oil along with a couple of drops of peppermint and rub that together and rub it on their legs or shoulders?
Generally, I would use a carrier oil, because if you're using it for, obviously muscle support, you're targeting some bigger areas, right? Like you're maybe talking about your entire lower back or your entire upper leg that you've worked. And so, I would use a carrier also to just help it spread it further, right? So I would put like my 2 drops of oil on my thigh and then follow it with, take a little swipe with my fingers of coconut oil or a few drops of whatever liquid oil I had, and then just use that to spread my essential oil out further along, around that muscle in that area.
If someone was skeptical about essential oils like many are, how could we direct them to maybe starting with one oil or starting with one article? Any suggestion that you could get them trying or going in the right direction?
That's tricky, because people who are skeptical, they're choosing a bit of a closed mind. And so I would say you do need to enter with an open mind, I think. But oils like digize, peppermint, panaway, ones like that you can really feel an effect from, that aren't just, let's say, calming. That's a little more objective, right? Those would be good ones to start with. As for places to look and research, I would go, I am part of Young Living for a reason, and I trust our company and the training that we have. And so you could go to the Young Living website and find all kinds of information there about how to use them safely and what for. But ultimately, you need to enter with an open mind. And I have to say, one oil is not going to change your life, right? Just trying lavender one time is not going to give your body a chance to do very much, right?
Yeah, and that's the same thing with us. Like when we teach nutrition and fitness, and like one workout isn't going to change your life. Someone was asking me about kombucha or digestion. I said, well, you need to add kombucha in your life, because they're having continual digestive issues. And they tried it once or twice, and like, oh yeah, I tried that once and didn't do anything. And I'm like, no kidding.
Yeah, well, because you have to reverse damage that may have been done, or in terms of oils, like there may be a detox period, right? Where your body is full of junk, right? And burden, and oils naturally want to help detoxify the body. And that can take time depending what you're used to being exposed to, right? But yeah, some of the oils like digest, some of those ones, those can get anybody to turn their head around. You got somebody with a bad tummy ache that's got a digestive problem, and you put a few drops of that on, and that can make someone go, wow, that was like a couple minutes and things have settled. Some oils do have a really direct and obvious effect, but not always, right? Not all of them, and not across the board, depending on your body.
Yeah. And I like how you mentioned coming in with an open mind. Like, yeah, with anything that you try new, if you go and try something and your mind is already like, this isn't going to work, then it's not going to work. So we have to.
That's the cool thing about, the research that's being done on oils, they're showing that the biggest effect oils have is on the brain, right? And so that's the fastest way for oils to affect the body. They can affect your brain within seconds. Within like 22 seconds, they are actually affecting the brain. They can see that on a brain scan, right? So that's not necessarily something we can say we noticed. But when you can see that on a brain scan, it makes you go, oh, that did have an effect, right?
And then, so I know there's other ways that we can use oil. Like we just think of maybe oils, what do you call that? Topically?
Topically.
I know that water, I know that baking, maybe before we still have 5 minutes here before we wrap things up, but is there something that you could explain to our audience about other uses for oils or other benefits to ingest it or use it in different ways?
So in Canada, we have to be a little bit more careful and compliant because our regulating bodies are only just beginning to recognize using oils for flavoring in things like your water and perhaps your food. We do have a special line of those oils and they are called plus oils. So there's a few in there like peppermint, black pepper, basil, oregano. There's I think there's 10 or 12 now that have been approved that way. And so those are ones that for sure you can add a drop or two in your water for flavoring. If you're going to do that, you need to think about for sure that you need to have a glass or a steel water bottle because oils naturally detoxify. And if you're putting them in a plastic cup or a plastic water bottle, they're going to eat away at that plastic and you're going to ingest it. So keep that in mind. But in the States, things are a little bit different. The FDA is a little looser than Health Canada and Health Canada is not perfect, but at least it's better than the FDA. So the rules down there and the rules up here about what we can do flavoring and ingestion wise are a little different.
All right, Cori, before we wrap things up here, can you give our audience a chance to know where they can find out more details about yourself if they want to maybe reach out or find out more details about oils? Essential oils, I should say. I always call it oils.
For sure. The easiest way to track me down or learn from me or check out what I'm doing is on social media. So obviously just being a mom, I'm at home a lot, right? And so I kind of just put our life and our routine and what we do is out there on social media. So on Facebook, it's just Cori Black. I have a public account on Facebook, or on Instagram, you can find me. I am Mama Black Bear on Instagram. And that came from starting oils. I kind of took on this role within our little team of ladies of kind of being like the mama, the one that I really love the research and information about the babies and the kids and using them during pregnancy and delivery. And while I was having babies, it was really my jam. So I took on this nickname, Mama Black Bear, and it kind of stuck. So that's my Instagram, Mama Black Bear. You can find me and follow along. I like to put tips on there of how I use them in our daily life and just all the things we're doing.
And I imagine if anyone has any questions, they could just reach out and you'd be happy to answer.
Always. Yeah. Always love helping people learn. That's what it's all about, right? Is directing people to information that can help them make decisions for themselves, right? Empowering other people to be advocates for their own health.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being with us today, Cori. We appreciate your time and tips and suggestions. That was fantastic.
Great. I'm so glad you had me.
True Form Life.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around till the end. I hope you got something out of that interview. I really believe in oils. I think that we can use oils in a number of different ways. I really liked how Cori said in the show that conventional medicine, more pills, for example, or pharmaceuticals combined with more holistic measures is where we're going to find our answer and what we need to do. So combining different ways holistically. And if we need more acute treatment, I suppose, then I'm all about pharmaceuticals. But I think there's other ways. There's other answers. And we talked about it in the show, to clean your home, to help with digestion, to make your water taste better. These are a number of different ways that I personally use oils as well. So I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to bring Cori on. She knows so much about oils. I kind of dabble a little bit. I'm not really all that involved, but I do enjoy them. And I think that if you're interested in being a part of oils more directly that you should get into them. Why not? They smell good and they can help improve your health. So there's something in it for everyone. More details are going on up on exploringmindandbody.com. So if you ever miss a show, you can always go back and check out past shows there. We have a free app that you can download on any Apple device. Head over to your app store and type in Exploring Mind and Body. You can download our shows, download our app, take our shows with you wherever you go. And I'm going to leave you with that. More details are at trueformlife.com. If you want meal planning, recipes, grocery shopping lists, at-home fitness routines, that's what we specialize in. That's what we do. So we can definitely get you going in the right direction. And I'm going to leave you with that. Once again, thank you so much for being here. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Tadia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.